everybody, it's the Wyco Nomad. This is take number 2 for the journal episode. So let's kill that a little bit right there. Change some of that, a little bit of some blues music just that I was working with. Oh, been studying a lot. And then I realized I forgot some important stuff on the journaling episode. So this is take 2. So a while ago I did a short on journaling and I got a lot of views on that one. It looked like a lot of people liked that one. So it's like, you know what? Since people like that, let's actually do a standalone show on journaling, and that's what we're going to do today. Been a long time since y'all had one of those. Yes, I'm drinking the Covfefe. Drinking the Covfefe. So with that, journaling. Why? And I wasn't talking about journaling in Dear Diary, today Jimmy was mean to me. No, I'm talking about, not journaling your emotions or your mindset, which, don't get me wrong, that is extremely important. And we'll actually touch upon that later in the episode. So journaling, what I mean is not necessarily your emergency preparedness binder, but it's a little bit on top of that. So I have a journal, and I have a special one. This is my old man kind of fancied himself a pirate. That's why I ended up living on the islands for 3 years, the British West Indies, North Caicos, back in the 70s. Yes, I'm that old, 5 decades plus. So I got a little bit of the nautical star there, but this is leather bound. It's got the little anchors and stuff. This was something that's just didn't really get along with him, but he was still my old man, biological. So I got this nice little journal, and not going to show you the contents because of OPSEC, y'all. This is my personal journal. I have extremely important, valuable information that this should not ever fall into hands of other people, such as my unleavened bread recipe, matzah. Kidding. No, actually, that recipe is in here. I have that recipe. I have you just said everything in there is OPSEC. Not everything, most of it. The bleach to water ratio for when you're doing a gallon, 5 gallons, all that, using the droppers for water purification. That is in there. Important. I have a few medical type information that's extremely important in there. I also have frequencies. I have tuned to this frequency with this, and this. If this ever fell into someone's hands, man, they open it up, they're gonna have some valuable information. Or are they? We're gonna get back to that in a little bit. Also, what's in here is my generator. In the event of a power outage, this is what you need to do. Go to the breaker, turn this off, turn that on, turn this off, turn that on, press start. So if you have a power generator that's hooked up to your house that has special little instructions of step-by-step and you're not around, maybe a significant other, open the journal. Oh, there's the step-by-step of how to do the power. Important things like this. This is how to activate or get the pump working on the diesel fuel tank in the event I need to fill the diesel truck with some farm fuel. Hey, it's the end of the world, man. What are they gonna do? Arrest you? So, if you got a 1,000-gallon tank with diesel inside it, maybe you have steps to unlock it, to release it. That information is in your journal. Maybe you have steps on how to turn on your, your ham radio. I don't know what your situation is and what you have secured to keep others out. Maybe you're living on property and, it's intentional living. Not everybody is pertinent to all information. So you have this, which certain people know where to find. That's up to you. But having the step-by-step guide for someone in the event of how do we turn that generator on? How do we get the water pump on? Hey, what was that recipe he used to make apple butter? Diabetes? No. How much sugar does he use for, you know, the jelly recipe? He had that one recipe that he used honey jalapenos. What was the mix that he used? What is his step-by-step guide on making the blueberry mead? Important information, because I mean, blueberry mead, come on, that's extremely important. What's the coffee grinds to water ratio when he makes his coffee? It's up to you. So, important information, frequencies. I have several pages worth of frequencies of how to get a hold of certain people that I'm in connection with. Not all of them are privy to one another. Those frequencies are to be a secret. Now, I use book code. Not one pad? No. And I don't need to have anyone else with the same book because the code is for me. I know what book I'm using. I know exactly what book to go to translate my code in the event I'm like, oh, what was that frequency? I don't remember every frequency. I go there, oh, let me get out the book. I also don't keep these frequencies programmed in my radio either. OBSEC. So, we'll use this as an advantage. I do have it right here. This is not the book that I use, but we'll use this as an example. So, I have The Most Dangerous Game. Really good book, but short. I mean, this is a tiny little book. Good book. So, I choose something real simple, and you can trust me, you can make book code as complicated as you want. Page, line, word. Page, line, word. So, if I say page 13, line 4, word 2. Indeed. Now, do I use letters or do I use the whole word? That's up to you. Me, I'm using the first letter. I. You can also use, especially when translating radio, you have essentially 9 characters. We could say 10, but we can make the 0 as simple as just call 0Z. Okay? So, the first 9 letters of the alphabet, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Okay? So I'm going to find, we'll say page 9, line 2, word 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll say line 6. Cigarette. First letter is a C. How would you transpose the letter C to a numeric value? 3. There's your first frequency. That's your first number in your frequency. 3. And you go forward like that. And like I said, you can make it as complicated or non-complicated as you want. So the book code is your code. Use whatever book you need and have it readily available so you can translate your own code. Now, when working with mags, your leadership or others may have in place book code. You may set up book code. Maybe they have set up book code with you. And I know that it sounds harsh and all that, but there are certain people within groups that do not need to know certain things. Okay? That's OPSEC. Especially if you have new people coming into your mutual assistance group, your tribe, your community. You're not divulging all information because what if it don't work out? Now we got to do new codes and everything else. So, a couple groups I work with, their councils, their leadership, is privy to specific information, no one else. So council member A can talk to C, C can talk to B, so forth and so on. All the other people in the tribe are privy to, hey, you all will use these 2 frequencies. And I know I'm going on to frequencies and we're talking about journal, but it does tie in, believe it or not, because that's where you got your information. Now, in order for council member A to talk to the rest of the council, in the event that comms are compromised, they may turn around and say, hey, they might have a challenge word or a go word in the radio ops. Hey, that PlayStation will not play the DVDs anymore. That means switch to book code. Then you go through and you will ramble off a bunch of numbers. The rest of the group will know. Now, when you do something like that, we're going to use something as simple as this on the back shelf. This is the easiest one to get to. Okay, there are certain books that everybody uses for book code. Number 1, the Bible. Most people will use the Bible, the Constitution, Federalist Papers, the Anti-Federalist Papers. I think it was the Anti-Federalist, as their code books. Don't use things that most people would go to. Someone looking through your stuff and I'm like, hey, the Bible, pull up. I bet you the code they're using is out of that. Look at those government books. Also, another popular one is Shakespeare and Edgar Allan Poe. Now, when you choose a book that you're going to use, and we're going to use my scriptures as an example, and you have to make sure it's the same year of publication. So mine is copyright 2020. Important, especially with a Bible, because 2012, 2014, 2016, 2018, and 2020 was reprinted with minor revisions. Those revisions can actually affect the numbering and the word placement. So if someone's using, say, a 1993 first edition of the scriptures, and I tell them, hey, you need to go to Shema 31, sorry, you need to go to Exodus 31, and we're going to use, Exodus 31, and we will do chapter and verse, we'll do 31:16. And then from there, we'll say 3. Okay, so we have 91 as the page, 31 as the chapter, 16 as the verse, 3 as the word, and then we use the word, we're going to use the whole word, and we have children. So the first thing in the message is going to be children. Now, you can set it up, like I said, page, paragraph, line. It's however you decide to set up your book code. The more, also with book code, you can have, we'll do chapter and verse again, 31:16. Then we're going to add 3. And then after the 3, we're going to add another 3. Reason why is third word, third letter. 3, 1, third word, first letter. Now you could set it up as 1s and 2s. 1 means the letter before the second letter. 3 is the letter after second letter. You see how that goes? And you can make it as complicated and confusing as possible. Now, there are people that will argue, all book code can be cracked. All I have to do is input it into this magic supercomputer and it'll figure it out. Cool. EMP. Everyone gets all excited. EMP, no power. Yeah. No power. How are they going to run that supercomputer to figure it out? Your book code's going to work quite well. Also, is your little mag really that important to the federal government? or the North Korean government or whoever. Because I know some of you are like, well, is the government coming up? Yeah. How important are you? I mean, don't get me wrong, you're probably gods in your own little world. However, do they really gonna care about what you're sending back and forth? Now, if you happen to be a gorilla and you're doing a lot of damage, I'm sure you're gonna get a lot of attention. Now, want to have some fun with that? There is a TV show that was on, oh, I cannot remember the name of it. I want to say Truth, but it wasn't Truth. It was a Civil War. It was a Revolutionary War show that it was on, I believe, AMC, and it was actually based on actual characters. Benedict Arnold was in it. I believe George Washington. It was about the spies within Revolutionary War. They were using book code. Okay, so we got to splice this in, folks. So in the middle of that, there's going to be a little glitch. You'll notice that. I got to reset this up. So apparently my phone, the storage filled up and I had no more room. So I had to delete a bunch of old videos that I hadn't deleted yet. Turn, Washington Spies is the name of the TV show. Actually pretty good. They kind of talk about book code a little bit in that. So give that a swirl. So that's roughly kind of what I wanted to get to about your journaling, is recipes, instructions on how to hook up your generator, important things that you don't want anyone else to know. That's not necessarily everyone in the family needs to know. Only select few for your code in that book, but that's what you want to use your journal for. And you could do anything from a notebook to a nice leather journal. I have another type of journal, and of course I moved it because I was doing stuff. So hang on. I have another leather-bound journal. This one obviously is empty, but well, actually no. Cardiac output, the amount of blood that travels out of each ventricle per minute. Heart rate is the number of times a heart beats per minute. Oh, hey, there's medical information in here. Page 1, medical stuff. But for the most part, here's another journal that I may eventually fill out. I might use this as just a medical journal type thing, all medical notes for my EMT stuff. But I have these two leather-bound journals. Bezos's first yacht. This was a gift. This was a gift from a nobody. We'll leave it at that. But why get rid of a really good notebook? So, your journal. And as I said before, journaling your thoughts, what's going on. Though it kind of seemed like I was knocking out, really wasn't. It's just, that's not what we're talking here. But I did want to touch upon this, as I said we would. We know a lot about history because of journaling. Jefferson, Adams, those people, those individuals kept great journals, very thorough journals. So writing what's going on, learning how to actually journal is an awesome thing to do, because one day when you are long gone, future generations may use your journal to say, this is what happened during the Great World Reset. And some of you may laugh at that, but all good things come to an end, plain and simple. And like I said, we prepare not for the end of the world, but from point A to point C. That in between is what we want to be resilient against as we lose one system to the new system that pops up. And it's happened throughout history, 1800s to 1900s. There were certain changes that the entire world and how they did things changed. That is coming. There's a book called, I believe, The Fourth Turn, and it's talking about how everything comes around. We'll see. I honestly believe that this make-believe fiat currency is going bye-bye. I think we are going to a digital, but you know, fiat is digital. Yeah, ones and zeros. Everything's ones and zeros, but I don't think you're going to carry around green anymore. It's going to be a digital signature. I think that's coming. Better learn, better cope, and better set up systems in order to protect yourself against that. And I'm not going to get into Bitcoin and all that stuff because I don't, you don't use Bitcoin to buy things. You buy Bitcoin and you just sit on it. And just sit on it. But that is my opinion, and that is not advice or anything, but take it for what you are, or what you will, or however. It is getting late. I have doctor's appointments and I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. So with that, everybody remember, watch your six. Hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what to do. You know where my affiliates are. Check out the affiliates. Everybody needs Kofifi. But with that, like I said, watch your six. Shalom, y'all. Peace and love. I'm out. So hopefully take 2 will work. Numbers. Yay. He's throwing up gang signs. I'm out.